In the captivating universe of One Piece, Netflix's live-action adaptation breathes new life into Eiichiro Oda's iconic manga series. As we dive into the breakdown review of Episode 4, it's essential to reflect on the tumultuous journey that Monkey D. Luffy and his burgeoning crew have embarked upon in the first 3 episodes. The story ignited with the dramatic execution of the infamous Gold Roger in Logue Town, igniting the Great Pirate Era with his final words about the hidden treasure, One Piece. This backdrop sets the stage for our protagonist, Luffy, whose dream of becoming a pirate king is as stretchy as his rubber body, a unique power gained from consuming the enigmatic gum-gum fruit in his childhood. Luffy's adventure kicks off with his serendipitous encounter with Koby, an unwilling participant in Alvida's pirate crew, leading to an audacious raid on a marine base in Shell's Town. It's here that Luffy, with his unwavering optimism, recruits the formidable and stoic swordsman Roronoa Zoro. Together, with the addition of the crafty and mysterious Nami, they confront the tyrannical Captain Morgan, aka Axe Hand, marking their first victorious battle as a crew. In the following episode, the complexity of the One Piece world deepens. The Grand Line, a perilous oceanic route hiding the fabled treasure, becomes the crew's new objective, symbolized by the coveted map that Nami retrieves. Their path intertwines with the eccentric and dangerous Buggy the Clown, revealing the perilous and unpredictable nature of their journey ahead. The episode concludes with a startling revelation about Nami's intentions and Vice Admiral Garp's personal vendetta against the Straw Hat Pirates. Episode 3 brings us to the quaint syrup village, introducing Usopp, a charismatic liar with a heart of gold, and his best friend Kaya, an ailing heiress under the dubious care of her butler, Klahadore. The episode weaves a tale of deception and betrayal as Klahadore's true identity as the malevolent pirate Kuro is unveiled. This revelation not only threatens the lives of Usopp and Kaya, but also underscores the underlying theme of trust and loyalty within the series. As we venture into Episode 4, the stakes are higher and the adventures more perilous. The Straw Hat Pirates, with their ever-growing camaraderie and determination, face new challenges and adversaries, each step bringing them closer to the elusive One Piece. At the end of the last episode, we learned just a touch more Usopp, played by Jacob Romero. As a child, he often runs through his village, falsely warning about pirate attacks. This habit stems from his belief that his father Usopp, a pirate at sea, will return and heal his sick mother. Now 7 years have passed, and Syrup Village faces a real danger from Captain Kuro. With no one else to turn to, Usopp seeks help from Koby, acted by Morgan Davies and the Marines. The question remains, can they stop Captain Kuro in time? Episode 4, titled Tell No Tales, starts with Zoro, who finds himself trapped at the bottom of a dry well. Tragically, Mary is not as fortunate. Zoro still has his 3 swords, but they are of little use in his current predicament underground. Elsewhere, Usopp updates Koby on the situation, and Koby is quick to act. However, Helmeppo is doubtful. He echoes his father Axe Hand, Morgan's claim that Kuro is dead. Despite the evidence against his father, Helmeppo wants to believe him. But Koby pushes past Helmeppo's doubts upon realizing that Luffy is also trapped in the house with Kuro and Kaya. Motivated, Koby leads the group towards the house. Still unaware that Kaya's butler Klahadore is really Captain Kuro of the Black Cat Pirates, Nami enters the kitchen where she finds Luffy, unconscious with his face smeared with the remains of Kaya's bright blue special soup. Before she can understand what happened, Bucci and Sham enter, loudly discussing their plan with Kuro, inadvertently revealing their pirate identities to Nami. They are surprised to see Luffy there but assume he's dead from the poisoned soup. Just as they prepare to remove Luffy's body, Koby, Usopp, and Helmeppo show up at the front door, ready to ask some questions. Despite Koby's initial readiness to confront the situation, he finds himself daunted by Kuro's presence. Usopp attempts to persuade the Marines that the butler is actually a pirate, but Kuro cleverly uses Usopp's reputation for exaggerating the truth to discredit him. Interestingly, Usopp's suggestion to check Kuro's gloves for hidden blades doesn't yield any results. This outcome raises questions about Kobe's judgment. Given his background, Kobe has no solid reason to trust Kuro over Usopp. Additionally, Helmeppo's insistence on his father Morgan having killed Kuro should be viewed skeptically, especially since Kobe has personally observed Morgan's deceitful nature and incompetence. In the unfolding drama, Helmeppo, losing patience, informs Kuro that they are actually searching for Luffy. Kuro acknowledges having seen Luffy and confirms he is in the house, but he prevents them from entering, likely to conceal the evidence of the neon blue poison. Bucci and Sham then bring Luffy out to the Marines. Kobe, addressing Usopp, explains that without solid proof, he can't justify further investigation into Kuro. However, seemingly eager to assist, Kobe attempts to question Kuro further. This effort to interrogate Kuro is abruptly stopped when Nami knocks Sham out with a frying pan. In the midst of this chaos, Usopp flees into the night, resolute in his mission to find someone who will believe him and offer help. Zoro's reflection and escape. Trapped at the bottom of the well, Zoro struggles unsuccessfully to create a makeshift grappling hook to escape. This predicament triggers a flashback to his younger days at the Ishin Dojo, where he honed his sword-fighting skills. In the flashback, young Zoro, played by Maximilian Lee Piazza, is defeated in a sparring session by Quina, acted by Audrey Simone. Frustrated and agitated, Zoro storms away. Quina attempts to give him advice, but Zoro doesn't take it well, despite her being the only student more skilled than him. In a bid to turn the tables, Zoro suggests that their practice blades are to blame for his defeat. He proposes a new challenge to Quina, a duel with real swords, an idea that she accepts. Madness in the mansion. Meanwhile, in a moment of desperation, Usopp, finding no one else to believe his story, stealthily enters Kaya's room to reveal the shocking truth about Kuro. He explains to her that Kuro is not just a butler, but a pirate responsible for Mary's death. Kaya, accustomed to Usopp's typically imaginative and fantastical tales, struggles to accept this grim reality. She is hesitant to believe him and attempts to dismiss him from her room. However, this time Usopp doesn't flee as he might have done before. Instead, he chooses to stay, determined to ensure Kaya's safety. In this crucial moment, Usopp's bravery transcends mere showmanship, demonstrating a genuine and steadfast courage. In a tense development, Bucci and Kuro discover Sham in the kitchen, where Sham reveals that Nami overheard their entire conversation. As midnight strikes, marking Kaya's 18th birthday, she becomes legally capable of transferring her wealth to Kuro. In response, Kuro commands Bucci and Sham to secure the house, closing off all exits to trap everyone inside. Kaya, initially in denial, begins to grasp the severity of the situation as Nami finds her and Usopp in hiding. Nami shocks Kaya with the revelation that she has been slowly poisoned over the years. While Kaya clings to the hope that this is another one of Usopp's fabrications, the alignment of her illness with Kuro's tenure as her butler erodes her disbelief. This plot twist differs notably from the original manga story. In the manga, Kaya's illness is attributed to extreme sadness and worry, not a sinister plot. The adaptation of her condition into a deliberate act of Kuro's scheming in the show adds a layer of horror to the narrative, enhancing the suspense thriller atmosphere of these episodes. This alteration creates a more complex and darkly intriguing storyline, heightening the drama and tension of the unfolding events. Kaya, Usopp, and Nami barely have time to process the shocking revelations as Kuro begins searching the house. They evade Kuro by escaping through a secret passageway to Kaya's parents' room, intending to find a second crank to open the house's shutters. However, Kaya's cough inadvertently alerts Kuro to their location inside the walls, intensifying the urgency of their situation. Poignant parallel between Zoro's past and present. Meanwhile, back in the well, Zoro abandons his initial plan and starts climbing the walls with his bare hands. As he struggles upwards, the scene shifts to another flashback of his past duel with Quina. Zoro arrives for the duel armed with 2 katanas, while Kuina wields a single sword, the Wado Ichimonji, a white-hilted blade familiar from Zoro's present-day arsenal. They engage in a fierce and unprotected duel. Despite Zoro's valiant effort, Kuina ultimately overpowers and disarms him. Although Kuina had declared the duel a fight to the death, it doesn't escalate to that extreme, ending when she disarms him. In a poignant parallel between past and present, Zoro, while attempting to climb the wall in the well, slips and falls at the same moment his younger self, defeated by Kuina, urges her to end his life. Kuina, however, chooses to lift him up instead. As a disheartened young Zoro contemplates abandoning sword fighting, Kuina reveals her deep-seated concerns. Kuina confides in Zoro about the inevitable changes they will face as they enter their teenage years. She expresses her fear that as they mature, Zoro's natural talent, enhanced by his physical growth in size, strength, and speed, will inevitably lead him to surpass her. This fear is rooted in her belief that no woman could ever truly defeat a man, regardless of how many times she might best a boy during their youth. Zoro's response to this is by far the best change the series makes to this first arc of the story. In the manga, Kuina's belief that a woman cannot surpass a man in sword fighting is treated as an unfortunate reality, a narrative that can be disheartening, especially for viewers who have experienced similar limitations in sports or other areas due to gender perceptions. In a refreshing change, the series has Zoro challenge Kuina's belief. He acknowledges her fears but suggests that they are not insurmountable truths. Zoro argues that any perceived limitations can be overcome with additional training and dedication. This response not only counters the notion of predetermined gender roles in martial arts, but also promotes a message of equality and perseverance. The two then set aside their rivalry and make a pact to train together with the shared goal of becoming the world's greatest swordsman and swordswoman. Luffy's capture and rescue. Meanwhile, in Syrup Village, the narrative takes an intriguing turn, with Koby wrestling with his decision not to investigate Kuro further, a choice that Helmeppo dismisses. Helmeppo then accuses Koby of only being trusted by Vice Admiral Garp, played by Vincent Regan, because of his friendship with Luffy. He insinuates that Koby is being used, a hypocritical stance considering Helmeppo's own background of benefiting from nepotism. Amidst their argument, Luffy, who has an exceptionally resilient constitution, recovers from his unconscious state caused by the poison-laced soup. He's immediately ready for more food, displaying his remarkable resilience. However, when Helmeppo tries to provoke him, Luffy inadvertently vomits the soup all over Helmeppo. Meanwhile, Kaya, Usopp, and Nami reach her parents' bedroom, where the gravity of their situation fully dawns on Kaya. Episode 4 reveals Nami's self-admitted lack of understanding about friendship, yet in this moment, she excels in providing support to Kaya, helping her navigate through panic and maintain focus. Together, they locate the crank needed to open the shutters. Unfortunately, their actions inadvertently alert Kuro to their whereabouts, escalating the tension as they try to evade the looming threat. In the third and poignant flashback to Zoro's childhood, which is interwoven with his current struggle in the well, young Zoro experiences a life-altering moment. He is eagerly awaiting a sunrise training session with Kuina when their sensei, who is also Kuina's father, portrayed by Nathan Castle, approaches with devastating news. Kuina has had an accident and did not survive. Overwhelmed with grief at Kuina's funeral, Zoro seeks permission to inherit her sword, the Wado Ichimonji. He shares with their sensei his vow to become the world's greatest swordsman, a promise he now dedicates to fulfilling for both himself and Kuina. This deeply emotional commitment becomes a defining moment in Zoro's life. Back in the present, it is this very promise to Kuina that ignites Zoro's determination and strength. With renewed resolve and the memory of Kuina fueling his spirit, Zoro finally succeeds in climbing out of the well. In a dramatic turn of events, Luffy implores Koby to allow him to return and assist Kaya. Kobe, moved by Luffy's appeal to his sense of justice, agrees. However, Helmeppo, devoid of such compassion, attempts to shoot Luffy. At this critical moment, Zoro, having just escaped the well, intervenes and incapacitates Helmeppo, allowing him and Luffy to rush back to the house. At the house, the situation escalates as Kuro finally confronts Kaya, Nami, and Usopp. Kuro unleashes a furious and unhinged rant, berating Kaya for her vulnerability, despite it being a direct result of his own actions. In an act of desperation, Kaya and Nami attempt to confront Kuro, but he proves too quick and powerful, overpowering them and knocking Usopp to the ground. The showdown at the mansion. Just as the situation seems dire, Luffy and Zoro arrive in the nick of time. Demonstrating remarkable strength, especially after his ordeal in the well, Zoro manually lifts the shutters, allowing them entry. The duo quickly splits up to find their friends. While Zoro is delayed by an encounter with Bucci and Sham in the foyer, Luffy successfully reaches Kaya's parents' room. He arrives just in time to stop Kuro from slicing them all to ribbons, and the two fight. Kuro, in a typical villainous fashion, falls into the trap of monologuing, revealing his inner frustrations and motivations. He expresses deep resentment towards the constant pursuit by law enforcement, a consequence of his criminal life that he seems to have underestimated. His bitterness is evident as he attempts to project his own grim outlook onto Luffy. However, Luffy counters Kuro's cynicism with his own philosophy of piracy. For Luffy, being a pirate isn't primarily about looting or criminal activities. It's about the thrill of adventure and, most importantly, the bonds formed with friends along the journey. This perspective starkly contrasts with Kuro's narrow view of piracy as merely a life of crime and evasion. In the climax of their confrontation, Luffy cleverly turns the tables on Kuro. Instead of relying solely on physical strength or combat skills, Luffy uses his keen listening ability to anticipate Kuro's movements. By staying alert and focusing on Kuro's actions, Luffy manages to outmaneuver the pirate, using Kuro's own tactics against him. Departure and revelations. United as a crew, they successfully defeat Kuro, Bucci, and Sham, putting an end to their reign of terror. In a gesture of gratitude, Kaya presents them with the ship adorned with the ram's head figurehead. Luffy, touched by her kindness, names the ship the Going Merry, in honor of the departed Merry, their former financial advisor. With the battle won, Luffy extends an invitation to Usopp to join their crew, expressing his desire for a sharpshooter akin to Usopp's father. Although Usopp is hesitant to leave his village, particularly Kaya, she encourages him to pursue his dreams. In a poignant moment, Usopp and Kaya share a heartfelt kiss, signaling their mutual understanding and support for each other's aspirations. The crew's reactions to this sweet moment add a touch of humor to the emotional scene. As the Straw Hat Pirates set sail with their newfound member, Usopp, they make themselves at home on the Going Merry, their new ship. The vessel boasts various amenities, including a well-stocked galley, comfortable hammocks for resting, ample space for their crew of 4, and even a Usopp-centric flag, much to Luffy's chagrin. Presumably, it also has a functional bathroom, a practical addition to any long-sea voyage. While One Piece is primarily an action-adventure series, the moments when the crew can relax, joke around, and simply enjoy each other's company are some of the most enjoyable in the entire season. These lighthearted moments showcase the excellent chemistry among the crew members and add depth to their characters. It's during these peaceful interludes that their personalities shine through, creating a bond that goes beyond mere comrades in arms. However, their tranquility is short-lived as the Marines arrive and approach the Going Merry. Kobe, who had been tasked with tracking down the Straw Hat Pirates by Vice Admiral Garp, successfully locates them. Luffy, always curious, uses a telescope to investigate the approaching Marines and is shocked to spot none other than Garp, whom he affectionately refers to as Grandpa. This unexpected encounter sets the stage for new adventures and challenges as the crew continues their journey on the Grand Line. The conclusion. Usopp's adventures culminate as he officially joins the Straw Hat crew, setting sail with them into the vast and mysterious Grand Line. With their new ship, the Going Merry, providing both comfort and space, the crew anticipates even greater adventures and challenges on the horizon. This episode also sheds light on Zoro's backstory, adding depth to his character and showcasing his unwavering dedication to his friends. The clever editing that interweaves his past with his climb out of the well enhances the storytelling, creating a compelling narrative. Notably, the absence of details surrounding Queena's supposed fall down the stairs raises intriguing questions about her fate, leaving viewers curious about potential future developments. The mansion battle scenes add an exciting element to the episode, infusing it with action and intensity. The improved pacing keeps the story moving forward at a steady rate, making effective use of its hour-long runtime. As the crew sets sail towards the unknown, the promise of grand adventures and mysteries in the Grand Line looms large. The Straw Hat Pirates' unity, their new ship, and their unwavering determination ensure that the future holds even greater challenges and triumphs for this dynamic crew. Thanks for tuning in. For more One Piece videos, sail with us through the Grand Line. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button below.